this is the roundup for the last few days. You guys know I've been working with the Minelab Safari. I decided to give the Minelab people who every once in a while wanted to hang me high because I wasn't a huge fan. I thought I would go out there and give the FBS it's a good shot, and it's done exceptionally well. I am not going to replace my Deus with the Safari, but I think the Safari is going to be a constant or a solid member of my A team. If it keeps up like this, there's no reason to think it isn't. So it's been a few days back. I guess I can break these down into days to some small degree here. The first day, which is about 4 days ago, that would have put it just immediately after Christmas. Yeah, I think that was a Christmas morning hunt, and it was just a quarter, a dime, and a penny, and I was out with the Technetics, doing about 15, 20, 25 minutes before I had to get ready to go off to the relatives for Christmas dinner. So that wasn't bad for the little bit of time I was doing it. So we'll just take that and put these here. All right, and then this hunt was the day that I first received the Safari. I went out initially in the morning to one of the parks, which would have been it was Saturday because I believe it did rain on Friday. And I was working anyway, so I didn't get a chance to do much. So I went out and hit one of my very much pounded parks because I didn't guess any breaks. I took it to the parks. I hit very hard with my single frequency machines, or in XP Deus's case, my frequency settable machine. So, but I did notice, and that was another thing I was going to do, that I tended to run the Deus at 18 kilohertz quite often, and of course I was missing some depth. So I'm going to adapt that down a little bit too, and I've been doing 7 kilohertz and was it 11 or 12 kilohertz. So I've been bringing it down. I don't do very much 4 kilohertz. In any case, what I went out initially and found this little piece. I thought it was a gold gilded button. It's definitely gold, so it's decorative. I'm not exactly sure if it's a button or not, but it's a decorative piece. And I found that at the edge of a very, very trashy area, the signal came through very fine on Safari. And that's going to have something to do with some of the other days hunts, and I'm going to talk about that some more. But I was able to pick this signal out among a lot of pull tabs and a few iron signals. So, you know, it wasn't a great find, but it was unusual and it worked great. So no complaints there at all. And I also went out and hit the area I hit quite a bit before, and I was just hitting pennies. I pounded this area pretty good, so pennies weren't bad. So, but I was getting in a couple of those zincs. I decided to include the zincs in the count just to show that I was getting signals in this particular case. Usually I don't. And over here, this was the most impressive showing, which was yesterday. Now this was a part I pounded and pretty much come to the conclusion there wasn't much left for me to find. Now these aren't great coins, but that's a lot of them. So that was very, very impressive. And this was the first part where I can actually say that the Safari showed its stuff. Because I had been getting, you know, a couple of quarters, nickels, and dimes in a 35-40 minute period, so I'd have to work this park for a while to get anything of any substance. And somebody decided they would cut a penny. Anyway, of any substance. And I went out with the Safari, and I did, you know, I got quarters and a few pennies from that. And this is just an arbitrary break. But then I went out, I think probably like this. And then I went out and I went over an area that I'd gone over with virtually every machine. I've gone over with the Deus, with the Garrett AT Pro, with the Technetics, and there was an area where I got this big chunk of metal, and I could not figure out why that chunk of metal was there, but I couldn't break it into any multiple signals. So I just considered a check of melon. I wasn't going to dig up that much. When I went out with the Safari, it began to give me different number designations or different sounds to that. So I know it wasn't a single homogeneous piece of metal. So I found an outlying signal because I was looking at that point because it was giving me those, and I dug it and I found like a dime or so, and I found a crap load of coins there. It was a big spiel. Now it wasn't a valuable spiel, but it was a big spiel. There were dimes, nickels, a 1/4, a bunch of copper pennies, and a couple of more dimes. So so it was a nice, substantial spiel. So that is the first time that I can point and say there was no chance that you only see what's under your coil. So it's hard to compare detectors in the field, but that separated the FBS from the other detectors, and it was a very, very nice return in the area that I'd given up and decided it was a big piece of metal. So this was, I don't know, 14 coins or something in this general area, in an area that I would pretty much considered it was detected out, and I can do nothing here, a couple of quarters, but give credit. I can do nothing here but give credit to the FBS, because it did do something that I can't say was 100% because of FBS, but I can just tell you that there's 100% that I did not see that without at least that break that would let me know that it was a coin spill instead of just a big chunk of buried metal. And there are some big chunks of buried metal in that park. So, so that was pretty good. And this was my today. I went out to this park. I pounded pretty severely, and once again, Safari came up with some more finds. So that's still pretty impressive considering I had gone out there parked on many occasions, not found anything at all. So I've got 3 dimes, and I'm separating the zincs out now. But since this is a test, I keep the zincs in until I complete my my test. And this is the other part I found. Looks like the rear end of a toy car, maybe a toy truck. This was a inflation stem for a bicycle tire, football, basketball, ball, soccer, whatever. And I don't know what this is. It's another one of those biggie chunks of melted metal I found out there all the time. Nothing impressive there, but this is a nice little earring. And I'm going to have to get my find my loop and take a real close look at this. But I'm going to just 98%, 99.9% sure this is just bling. But it's been the first piece of jewelry I found in a long time. I've been in the jewelry, silver, gold drought for for most of the holidays and a little bit before. So it was nice to even get anything this shiny. Most of this was with the exception of 35 cents, was with the Safari. So that was not a bad return, and I got a little piece of bling, which, considering I haven't got anything even vaguely shiny, that was very, very nice. Really happy about that. In any case, I was and people began to jump on me with both feet because I was not swinging the Safari slow enough. So trust me, guys, this last step, the one I didn't actually film, I had begun to swing it slowly. But I'm learning FBS relative to an XP Deus, a Technetics T2, and those are machines you can basically swing as fast as your arms can move, and that's only a slight exaggeration. So I am swinging it slowly, and I think I might be getting an increase in depths and fines. But Minelab people are not happy if you don't use their machine the correct way. But they're nice people, and like I said, their machine is good. There was never any doubt in my mind that Minelab was making great machines. So it's the only reason I even went out and got one. And in fact, I got a good deal. Somebody decided they would end an eBay auction at 1 in the morning. So So that was a combination of things there. So that's all I've got, and that will be my roundup for this part of the week.